Good afternoon, everyone. I am Emmy Borlat, and I'm going to present to you my three chosen country. First is Mozambique, the undeveloped country. Second is the Ghana, which is the developing country. And third is the Estonian, the developed country. So, first, let's proceed to the historical background of education in Mozambique. So, Mozambique located in Southeast Africa, has the complex and evolving history of education shaped by its colonial past, independence struggle, and post-independence development. So, the pre-colonial and colonial era. Before colonial rule, education in Mozambique was predominantly informal, with knowledge and skills being passed down through the generations within communities. This education system focused on the practical skills, cultural traditions, and social responsibilities essential for the community's survival and cohesion. Then the Portuguese colonial period during 1498 to 1975. When the Portuguese began to establish their presence in Mozambique in the 16th century, they brought with them their own education system. However, their primary interest was in exploiting Mozambique's resources rather than educating the local population. As a result, educational opportunities for Mozambicans were extremely limited and primarily focused on assimilating them into Portuguese culture and language. So here is the geography of the country Mozambique. So the geography of Mozambique consists mostly of coastal lowlands with uplands in its center and high plateaus in the northwest. There are also mountains in the western portion. The country is located on the east coast of southern Africa, directly west of the island of Madagascar. Mozambique has a tropical climate with two seasons, a wet season from October to March and a dry season from April to September. So, why is it Mozambique is considered as undeveloped country in education? So we have here the colonial legacy. Mozambique was a Portuguese colony until 1975. So the colonial education system was limited and primarily served the colonial administration, leaving the majority of the population without access to education. So first is civil war. Following independence, Mozambique experienced a prolonged civil war from 1977 to 1992, which severely disrupted the education system, destroyed infrastructure, and displaced population. The second is economic factors, which are has in under the poverty, limited resources. So first is the poverty. High level of poverty mean that many families cannot afford school fees, uniforms, and other associated costs, leading to low environment and high dropout rates. Next is the limited resources. The government has limited financial resources to invest in education, resulting in poorly equipped schools, lack of teaching materials, and inadequate infrastructure. The third is infrastructure. So under the infrastructure we have here the lack of schools. There are not enough schools, especially in rural areas, leading to overcrowded classrooms and long travel distances for students. Next is the inadequate facilities. Many schools lack basic amenities such as electricity, water, and sanitation facilities, making the learning environment challenging. Last is quality of education. So the first is teacher shortage. So there is a significant shortage of qualified teachers, and many teachers lack proper training and support. And the next is the curriculum issues. The curriculum may not always be relevant to the needs of the students or the job market, affecting the quality of education. So the Mozambique has also goals of education. So number one is quality education. So they improve the quality of education at all levels, focusing on better teaching methods, curriculum development, and learning outcomes. Second is gender equality. Promote gender equality in education by encouraging equal opportunities for boys and girls. So the next is technical and vocational training. Enhance the technical and vocational education and training, or TVET, to equip students with practical skills needed for the job market. So next is increase enrollment and retention. Implement strategies to increase school enrollment and reduce dropout rates, especially in rural and underserved areas. Next is promote STEAM education. So what is STEAM? So encourage the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the subjects to build a skilled workforce for the future. And then the last is enhance early childhood education. So strengthen early childhood education programs to ensure children are prepared for primary education. So we have here the administration of education in Mozambique. So the first is reconstruction and development. So what is what is this? The significant efforts were made to reconstruct schools and expand access to education. The international aid and development partnerships played a crucial role in the process. Next is the policy shift. Education policies shifted toward decentralization, improving quality, and addressing disparities in access. And emphasis was placed on primary education with effort to improve teacher training, curriculum development, and educational infrastructure. Next is the current challenges and progress. Despite considerable progress, Mozambique still faces challenges such as high school dropouts rates, gender disparities, and regional inequalities in education quality and access. However, ongoing reforms and investment continue to improve the situation. So we have here the contemporary education system. So they have also a pre-primary education. Next is primary education. The third is secondary education, and the fourth is higher education. So let's proceed with pre-primary education. It is available but not compulsory within limited access in rural area. So available but not compulsory. So in primary education, free and compulsory for 7 years old, from 7 years, divided into two cycles from grade 1 to grade 5 and grade 6 to grade 7. So the secondary education is divided into two cycles from grade 8 to grade 10 and grade 11 to grade 12, with increasing access but still facing challenges in terms of quality and retention. And next is the higher education. It includes universities, polytechnics, and teacher training colleges, with a growing number of institutions and enrollment but still limited in terms of capacity and resources. So, okay, well, and now let's proceed to the next country, which is Ghana, the developing country. So, what is the historical background of education in Ghana? So, education in Ghana uses a dualistic approach, encompassing both formal and informal learning systems. The current formal education system was introduced during the European colonization. However, learning systems existed prior to that. The University of Muleyeli is one of the earliest learning centers in Ghana, established in 1,700 years ago. And then the University of Moyale is one of the earliest centers in Ghana, established in the 1,700 years and supported by fund from the Yaanaa, the King of Dagbon, who acted as its royal patron. This learning center was abandoned during the German invasions, but for many Ghanaian societies in the pre-colonial times, education was informal. Knowledge and competencies were transmitted orally and through apprenticeships. The arrival of European settlers during the brought new forms of learning. Formal schools were built which provided book-based education. So their audience was composed of local elites or mulattoes, sons of local chiefs and wealthy traders. Okay, it's and then and their presence was limited to colonial forts on the coast. So you have here the geography of Ghana's country. So Ghana is the West African country in the Africa. So along the Gulf of Guinea, Ghana encompasses plains, low hills, rivers, Lake Volta, the world's largest artificial lake, Dodi Island, and Bubuwasi Island on the South Atlantic Ocean coast of Ghana. Ghana can be divided into four different geographical ecoregions. So ecoregions. So what are the aims and objectives education in Ghana? So the first is universal access to education. So ensuring that all children of school-going age have access to quality education. Quality education is improving the quality of education at all levels from primary to tertiary education. The next is equity in education, promoting equity by ensuring the marginalized and disadvantaged group have equal access to education. Next is the technical and vocational education, enhancing technical and vocational education and training to equip students with practical skills for the job market. Next is higher education, strengthening higher education institution to produce skills graduates who can contribute to the national development. The education system in Ghana has been pioneer in modern mass education in West Africa. First introduced in Christian missionary schools and colonial government schools. So most notably in coastal areas during the period of informal British rule after 1867. Modern European styles education was greatly expanded by Ghana's government after achieving independence in 1957. So administration of the education system, Ghana is a unitary republic with 10 administrative regions. Some 70% of the population lives in more industrialized southern parts of the country, home to the country's two largest urbanizations are Kumasi, 1.5 million people, and the capital city of Accra, 1.7 million people. This is the administration in education in Ghana. System of education in Ghana. So, Ghana's school system is modeled after the British system. It's undergone a significant changes over the past 60 years. Before 1974, for instance, the system was structured into 6 years of elementary education and 4 years for secondary education. So the elementary education, we have here the elementary education. Ghana begins at the age of 6 and is nominally free of charge at public schools. However, even public schools charge fees for various items like teaching materials or uniform, so that education is not entirely free. Okay. The elementary school curriculum focuses on developing basic reading and writing abilities, arithmetic, and problem-solving skills. The subject taught include English, local languages in early grades, mathematics, social studies, integrated science, arts, physical education, and civic elementary education concludes with the completion of grade 6. So next is the junior secondary education. So, is open to all students. who complete elementary education. There are no entrance examination. It lasts 3 years, grades 7 to 9 or forms 1 to 3, and concludes with the Basic Education Certificate Exam or BECE. And then secondary education. The vast majority of graduates from basic education who wish to continue their education get assigned to senior secondary schools based on a computerized school selection placement system. Admission is competitive and only good students have the option to choose the school they wish to attend. The senior secondary education is free. This is free. So higher education. Ghana's higher education sector has mushroomed in recent years. Tertiary enrollments doubled between 2009 and 2015 alone. So we have 203,337 students to 417,534 students within just 6 years. UIS data. Yeah, according to UIS data. Like in other African countries, this expansion has been accompanied by the rapid growth of the private sector. The number of private or HEI increased from just 2 private universities in 1999 to 80 private universities and colleges today. So the higher education degree structure. Ghana has a binary qualification structure that includes applied higher national diploma programs offered most by polytechnics or technical universities, as well as bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees offered by the universities. So according to the statistics provided by the National Accreditation Board, the vast majority is 70.5% of the students at public HEIs were enrolled in bachelor's program, whereas 22.4% student for postgraduate diplomas and later overwhelmingly as distance education student. So now let's proceed with Estonia. So Estonia is the developed country. So what is the historical background of education in Estonia? So the historical of formal education in Estonia dates back to the 13th to 14th centuries. When the first monastic and cathedral schools were founded, the first primer in the Estonian language was published in 1575. The oldest university is the University of Tartu, which was established by the Swedish King Gustav II Adolf in 1632. Today's education in Estonia is divided into general, vocational, and hobby education. Excuse me. The education system is based on 4 levels, which include preschools, basic, secondary, and higher education. A wide network of schools and supporting educational institutions has been established. The Estonian educational system consists of state, municipal, public, and private educational institutions. There are currently 589 schools in Estonia. And here is the geography of the country Estonia. So Estonia is located on the Great Northern European Plain. Okay, its topography is typically flat in coastal regions and hilly in the inland southeastern part of the country. The elevation is northwestern Estonia averages into 160 feet or 49 meters, but rises to 320 feet or 98 meters. In the southeast, the highest point in Estonia at 140 feet or 317 meters above the sea. So we have here the aims and objectives of education in Estonia. So first, we have the quality education. So ensuring that all children and young people have access to quality education, irrespective of their background. Next is lifelong learning. Promoting a culture of lifelong learning to enable continuous personal and professional development. So next is innovative learning environments. So creating innovative learning environment that utilize modern technology and teaching method. Next is a quality and efficiency. Improving the quality and efficiency of the education systems through effective governance and management. Next is increase student engagement. So develop strategies to increase students' engagement and motivation in the learning process. So education, so what are the education system in Estonia? So preschool education. So they have preschool education is delivered to children between ages of 18 months to 7 years in especially dedicated educational institution. In Estonia, preschool education is not only child care but also part of learning with a curriculum and substantive and methodological activities. So although children start school at the relatively late age of 7, many of activities that in other countries are done at school. Estonian children do in kindergarten in more playful and relaxed environment. Most children know how to read and how to write when they start first grade at school. So, basic education. The compulsory basic education lasts from grade 1 to grade 9. Parents are free to select a school for a preschool age child. So, every child has the right to receive basic education at the nearby school. So, next is the acquisition of basic education grants the right to continue studies to acquire secondary education. And graduating the basic school requires that the student learns the curriculum at least a satisfactory level with passing 3 basic school graduation exams. So consisting of the Estonian language, mathematics, and an exam on the subject of the student's choice. So as well as completing a creative assignment. So next is the general secondary education. General secondary education is acquired at the upper secondary school level. So upper secondary school level are designed to help students become creative, multi-talented, socially matured, and re- reliable citizens. Next is the general secondary education is acquired at the upper secondary school level. Upper secondary schools are designed to help students become creative, multi-talented, socially mature, and reliable citizens. Next is at the end of their studies, student must pass 3 state exams: Estonian, mathematics, and foreign language. So, school examinations and student study or practical work. Next is the vocational education. So vocational education serves the purpose of fostering the knowledge, skills, and attitude, occupational know-how, and the social readiness required for working, participating in social life, and participating in the lifelong learning process. Vocational education is free and can be obtained after basic school as vocational secondary education, length to 3 to 4 years, or as vocational skills only without general education, length 3 months to 2.5 years. There are close collaborations with companies in curriculum development and in creating opportunities for apprenticeship. Moving from vocational education to higher education and vice versa is becoming increasingly popular. So next is the higher education research. So higher education is flexible and accessible. It is supported by the wide range of study forms consideration of learning and work experience in studying, and the opportunity to work during studies. For the comprehensive overview of higher education in Estonia, see in Estonia. So that's all my report, and thank you for listening, everyone. Have a nice day.